Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 11. This is going to be my review of the episode. I'm very excited about this review. I know it's coming out a couple days late. Well, not really. It's coming out a couple days late and early at the same time because of the AMC Plus premieres. I usually release them. I usually make my videos like right after the AMC Plus premiere, but this is like a few days after. But it's still early technically because episode 11 hasn't even aired yet on AMC. So I still have to give a spoiler warning in case you are not watching these episodes early, because they are releasing 1 week early on AMC Plus. So if you are not watching the episodes early and you're on episode 10, spoiler warning. But if you did see the episode on AMC Plus, you've seen episode 11. This will be my review of the episode. So the reason it's a few days after the AMC premiere or AMC Plus premiere, is because for some reason I think there were some technical difficulties this week and they didn't release it. I was ready to watch it like midnight, because that's what I do. I usually watch it at midnight, and then I stay up late to make my video because I'm usually busy, the next day. So I make sure I get that video made at midnight. But they didn't release it until the next morning, so it kind of got delayed because of that. But we're here today to talk about episode 11. Like I said, I really enjoyed the episode. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about it? And I did give a spoiler warning, but yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so this episode was like, first of all, it was directed by Michael Cullis, which I loved, and this is becoming a trend now because like every episode he's directed, I really enjoy. I love the vibe of this episode. This episode was almost like a bunch of mini movies, and I'll get to that throughout. Just like the storylines were like, almost like little movies and stuff like that. I mean, TV shows too have these storylines, but the reason I said it was just because like. Maybe because I watch more movies than I watch TV shows, but anyways, the point I'm trying to make is like the Eugene storyline, right? Like we had him, like this classic missing person detective storyline, right? Like, we've seen movies like that before, so it's like it had these like classic film feels to it, which I really enjoyed. And the same thing with Connie, like the journalist who's trying to figure out some conspiracy, right? Like we've seen movies like that before, or TV shows, but I just love these storylines that this episode had. So going back to Eugene, first of all, I'm loving what they're doing with Eugene in these episodes. Ever since The Whispers, I think they've done such a great job with Eugene. Ever since The Whispers, even before that. But what I mean is like Eugene has been given, because even like the Negan stuff was really good too in season 8. But the point I'm trying to make is like they're really giving Eugene really good storylines. So yeah, Stephanie left like we saw, and I kind of wish it didn't show that. Like I feel like the mystery would have been more. That's like my biggest gripe I think with the episode, is that I wish in the opening minutes they didn't show Stephanie leaving, because if they didn't show Stephanie leaving, it would have been more mysterious, like what happened to her. But they had that little scene of her, like the camera was like peeking through the door, and we saw her packing her bag. So I kind of wish they didn't add that in there, but that's okay, I guess, because I guess there was still a bit of a twist though, so it still worked out, I guess, at the end. But yeah, anyway, so let's talk about I guess I'll just go in order of the episode because that's the way I write my notes. But yeah, I love what they're doing with Connie too. She's a journalist and she's trying to figure out what's going on here. Mercer opening that door and exchanging looks with Connie was like pretty scary. Like Connie knows something's up. And also Lauren Ridloff gave such a great performance in this episode as well. And everyone was great in this episode. But yeah, Lauren Ridloff was amazing. Josh McDermott was like amazing, and we'll talk more about him in a little bit. But yeah, there's obviously something going on, some conspiracy within the Commonwealth, and Connie is trying to figure that out. So that's a great storyline that she has. So they're giving these characters pretty good stuff, which I like. Rosita is a Commonwealth soldier now. We saw her looking for Stephanie. And again, if they didn't show her like leaving, I felt like it would have been better and more like suspicious, when Rosita was like knocking the door and stuff like that. But we'll see. The Carol and Lance stuff was great also. Lance is definitely an interesting character. It seems like he wants something more from the Commonwealth, when he was talking about how Governor Milton runs the city. I know how the city runs, something like that. Made me wonder, like, is Lance part of the Commonwealth resistance? I mean, he saw that he was part of that group at the end there. I forgot if they mentioned if that little group is part of the resistance, but I do think Lance, and also Josh Hamilton is great too. He's very scary, like he's like very scary. I don't even know how to explain it. Just his body language, it's pretty scary, like when he's like, even his eyes, like he's staring down at people when he's like speaking to them. Pretty scary stuff. So I'm loving Lance. So far the Commonwealth stuff has been great. And Mercer obviously was very upset in this episode. I didn't get that point of the walker scene, when Mercer just showed up and killed those walkers. Like, I was like, what was the point of this scene? But then later on, I was like, I guess it was just to show that he was angry about stuff that's going on. Because when he went to the hospital and they moved Tyler, that Commonwealth soldier, or that he's formerly a Commonwealth soldier, but something happened to him and he's not a soldier anymore. But yeah, he was upset that he got moved. So maybe that scene was just to show that Mercer can fight. Or, I mean, not Mercer. That's what I thought at first. Like, what's the point of this scene? Is it just to show us Mercer can fight? But I think it was just that he was angry about stuff. And then that woman that Tyler took hostage, that was Mercer's sister. And we got a confirmation today that that's the real Stephanie, which I suspected all along, and I'm sure many other people did as well. Because long ago, when they announced the casting, they said that Margot, I think her name is Margot Bingham, I think they said that she was casted as Stephanie, which might have been a mistake because I sort of suspected that. And the only reason I suspected that was because of that casting announcement. If they never announced that, then I would have been like, whoa, this is crazy, because she didn't really even say much throughout the season so far, Like, she wasn't talking that much. They did like little like cutaways to her, like scenes like maybe she's like around Eugene and Eugene's talking and they would like cut to her or something to show her reaction. So they were definitely teasing it in that way. But I feel like if they never announced that casting, I would not have thought that was Stephanie. Because I'll be honest, I was getting to the point where I was like, okay, maybe because of all the delays and everything, they changed stuff up. Because that announcement was a while ago, like maybe even 2 years ago. I don't know for sure, but it was a while ago. So I was even getting to the point where I was like, okay, they announced it and then they didn't film, so they just easily changed it or something. Or maybe the announcement was wrong. I was getting to that point because I was like, what's going on with this character? But then this episode, we learned that she is the real Stephanie, which was like, pretty awesome. That now we know she's the real Stephanie. So yeah, and then also, like I said, she was also Mercer's sister. So we finally learned more about her, because I think she was also even in the extra 6 episodes. Like, she was there too, but she wasn't talking much. We didn't know too much about her. And then going back to the Lance and Carol stuff, Carol is another character who they're giving great stuff to. They're giving a lot of these characters of the Commonwealth great stories, which I like. So that's something to look forward to in the future. Carol's plans and, where that gets her. Because I think, she wants to help Ezekiel. So that's probably a big part in it. And going back to, like, the direction of this episode, like I said, it was really well done. Not just with the story, but even with the framing of the scenes, and the camera work was really good. In that hallway scene where Eugene and Princess were trying to like sneak out. There's a lot of tension in that scene also. So lots of great stuff within the episode itself. And then obviously the story was also really great. And then I guess we can talk about that ending, because that ending was pretty big. So So it looks like Princess, or not, excuse me, not Princess, Stephanie is working with Lance, and they have like a little group here. And I'm pretty sure this is a group that's like against the Commonwealth, right? Like it makes sense given that Lance, that conversation with Carol pretty much, I think, gave it away that Lance wants to be more than just like, he wants to be like the leader basically, and he's sort of starting his own group. But yeah, so they used Eugene, they got information out of him and stuff like that. But oh my goodness, Eugene went off. And Josh McDermott was so good in that scene. Like he was amazing. Like wow. I mean, he just completely went off there. And it was justified too, because the extent they went to with Eugene and, that fake Stephanie, like his reaction made sense to that. But I wanted to point out that his performance was like amazing. And then we saw at the end there the real Stephanie. So we'll see where that goes. I'm very, very excited with this. I mean, what they're doing with the Commonwealth arc is interesting, and we still have so much like within the Commonwealth, but we also got some other stuff, the bigger picture with the, Maggie and Daryl issues. That's also coming up. I think next episode they're going to Alexandria or the Hilltop, so that's exciting to look forward to. Lots of interesting stuff coming up. But yeah, overall, like I said, really great episode. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about the episode? Be sure to stay tuned for my episode 12 trailer breakdown. That'll be coming out, soon as well. And yeah, again, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And for more Walking Dead videos like this, be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Please take care, and I'll see you guys soon.